It can involve rape or other forced sexual acts, or withholding or using sex as a weapon. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
An abusive partner might also use sex as a means to judge the other person or assign a value. In other words, criticize or saying that someone isn't good enough at sex, or that sex is the only thing they are good for. Because sex can be so loaded with emotional and culture implications, there are many numbers of ways that the feelings around it can be uniquely used for power and control. It wasn't until 1993 that the marital rape was illegal in all 50 states.
Wow.
Some people may still assume that sex is something a partner is entitled to, and not recognize it as a larger pattern of power and control.
Okay. And Ms. Gwen, would you read the
Verbal and emotional.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the third one of the six. The third one is verbal and emotional. As a survivor puts it, my ex-husband used words like weapons, like shards of glass, cutting and slowly draining my life until I had nearly none left. I didn't think I was abused because he didn't hit me. Usually, I had begun to believe his awful lies, how worthless I was, how stupid, how ugly, how no one would ever want me. Other survivors have pointed out that while the signs of physical abuse might be notable to a friend or family member, the effects of verbal and emotional abuse are harder to spot and harder to prove. Emotional scars can often take longer to heal.
So much I want to chime in. So much. I will say this. For mental and emotional abuse, one of the telltale signs is how that person covers up for the other person. How they always have an excuse. And that's really for even physical abuse. They always have an excuse for their mate, whether it be male or females, because men get abused as well as females. A lot of times more so verbally than females.
That might be a good question that you can pose to your audience too. How many men have been, and take a poll, are most men being verbally or physically abused, or would you think that?
So in the comments, if you catch it on a replay or whatever, if you are someone you know that is a male that has been verbally, physically, or even sexually abused in a relationship, please comment, because we want to take a poll of that. And another thing is, what a lot of people don't understand, and is considered abuse, is when you're arguing with your mate and you call them out their name, whether it be B, P, whatever. That's a form of abuse. Or calling them punk, whatever.
Dummy, stupid,
yes,
retarded.
That's a form of abuse.
Yes.
Anytime you try to demean someone on purpose, that's a form of abuse.
All right. Ms. Gwen, can you read the mental physiological, please?
Okay. Sorry, let me pull it up, honey.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is number 4.
Yes, number four. Mental, physiological. Okay, mental or physiological abuse happens when one partner, through a series of actions or words, wears away at others' sense of mental well-being and health. It often involves making the victim doubt their own sanity we've actually heard stories of abusers deliberately moving car keys, and in one case, the whole car or a purse, dimming the lights, and flat out denying that certain things had taken place. The result of this, especially over a sustaining period of time, and often with the isolation that abusers also tend to use, is the victim depends on the abuser more and more because they don't trust their own judgment. They also hesitate to tell anyone about the abuse they're experiencing for fear they won't be able to believe. Angela, a participant in one of a certain support group, says he had been called crazy so many times. I was unsure of if anyone would ever believe me about the abuse, because he was being called crazy all the time. So it's like, is anybody gonna ever believe me? Am I the boy that cried wolf, or And
it's the thing about it, when you're dealing with with a person that has been abuser over time, that's good at it. What they do is they attack the person so much in the home, and then take them around people and treat them so good, so people don't realize that it's night and day.
Right.
Like praise
dark.
them in public and go over and beyond for them in public, but at home starve them of that love and affection, that attention. So when the person goes out with them and they get it, they soak it up, and you think that they're just so in love and so happy together, but it's because it's a pattern that, whether it be male or female, is used to that pattern. So if they're faking like they love me in public, then I'm gonna soak it up, because I know when I get home, they might not talk to me. It's gotten to a point where I know a lady, she was sleeping in a room, no bed, no nothing, and he would lock her in when he went to work, when he went out with his friends and everything like that. And then when people started asking about her because they haven't seen her in a long time, then he would go to the store, buy her a new outfit, go take her to get her hair done and get her makeup done and all this, and pretty much treated her like a trophy. So, there's telltale signs of people being starved for love. And I know me, because of the situations that I've dealt with, from a little girl on up, I'm an overthinker. Like, I'm careful about what I say. And I've been accused about it a lot, but you never want to say the wrong thing. And it's like, when you're dealing with someone that is abusive, you learn them more than you learn yourself. So you know what triggers them.
Right.
So.
Okay, and I'm gonna read the number 5, the financial economic. Because abuse is about power and control, an abuser will use any means necessary to maintain that control, and often that includes finances. Whether it is controlling all of the budgeting in the household and not letting the survivor have access to their own bank accounts, or spending money, or opening credit cards and running up debts in the survivor's name, or simply not letting the survivor have a job and earn their own money. This type of abuse is often a big reason why someone is unable to leave an abusive relationship. Many of the survivors we work with have problems with their credit because of an abuser's past behavior. A bad credit history can affect your ability to get an apartment, a job, a car loan, or any number of other things necessary for sufficiency.
Efficiency.
We work with
Self-sufficiency.
Yeah, thank you. We work with survivors to get these issues resolved, but social safety nets such as food stamps, cash assistance, and health insurance can provide a much needed bridge in the meantime.
So has any of you ever dealt with financial, any partner withholding financial from you to kind of control you?
It was done. But
Well, since you've been married, so you kind of have the opportunity to speak
but
from
it
both
wasn't.
aspects.
It wasn't done to keep me from, because we were both working. It was more so done like I have more money than you, I make more money than you, you're beneath me type thing. And but what I say was, never mind.
But you also made your own money and was able to have your own account.
Yes. But the thing about it was we had, at one point in time, we had a joint account. And
it's always hard when you got a joint account.
Because my whole check went into the joint, and only part of what he wanted to go in there went in there.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point in time, I lost access to the account.
And how did you feel? Like, did it take away your sense of being able to support yourself?
Yeah, for a month I didn't have funds.
Mm-hmm.
But that was in our separation period, and it was more so of a.
But how did you really feel? Did you feel like he was doing it intentionally, and that you were going to get him back? Like you were going to go to the bank and figure out how to get.
I couldn't go because we agreed on a separation, and he made it seem like he was good with it. So the day that I moved was the day